for the action.
Hello everyone and welcome to Sharp Dress Gaming, and today we are back. We're not back, we are here once again from last season to now this season with the NPCC. It has been revitalized. There's Jacob as always and U-Turn Crobat are now in charge of it, so it's looking pretty nice. But this is our third league that we are usually in. This is like the mid-ground league. I didn't do a draft video for it because it just got away from me. But we are here with week one. Now, unfortunately, my opponent's 3DS stopped working, essentially the day of this. We were supposed to have the battle, so we had to do it on Showdown, which is unfortunate, but next week we will be back with the 3DS. So we can see from my opponent, whose name is Stab X4 on Showdown. As far as his actual name, it's on Discord, it's TTM Stab, so, you know, we do what we can with names around here, but they're the Chicago Sacred Fire. So we have on their team Galvantula, Diggersby, the Superior, Licky, Mew, and Clefable. Right when I got to Superior, I pushed on my head and it must have done something to my brain. I forgot his name. But he's got a pretty bulky team, and then the Superior and the Diggersby hit really hard, and then Galvantula is sitting there being scary too. But we got Volcarona with Quiver Dance, Fiery Dance, Hidden Power Ground, I believe, and then Bug Buzz. As far as Hidden Power Ground goes, I can't remember exactly what it's for. I don't have his full team in front of me, unfortunately. But there was that. It was for something that would stop our sweeping if we got up our Quiver Dances. And it has Citrus Berry, so it can come in on Stealth Rocks. And it can take 3 Stealth Rock entries, so as long as it has enough health to live a Stealth Rocks, it can get 50% back or so. Not 50%, but like 25%, sorry. And then we have Tyranitar, Max Defense, Stealth Rock, Superpower, Crunch, and Stone Edge. I want Stone Edge on Tyranitar, because I figured if I'm going for that with Tyranitar, we might as well get as much damage as we can. Then we have the Sandrush Excadrill with Earthquake, Iron Head, Rapid Spin, and Rock Slide. I put Rock Slide in Excadrill because I didn't want to miss as often. Kommo-o is a special Kommo-o with a Totemize, and he is our Z-move Mon this week, with Focus Blast, the All-Out Pummeling Z-move, Clanging Scales, and Flash Cannon. And then we have Primarina. This Primarina has Reflect. It has Sparkling Aria, Psychic, and Moon Blast. And then we have Braviary with the Choice Scarf, U-Turn, Brave Bird, Superpower, and Return. So I'm going to lead off with Volcarona here, expecting the Galvantula. But as we can see, he does lead with Diggersby. I'm like, all right, he might have a Rock Slide or Stone Edge or something. So I'm going to switch out into my Kommo-o, expecting that. But he does just go for the return. Now, with all this damage, I'm assuming he has Choice Banded Diggersby, so I'm just going to go for the All-Out Pummeling here. I'm expecting not to get it off. He could also be Choice Scarfed, but he does switch into Mew, maybe expecting me to be faster. I'm not super fast because I do have a Totemize, so I just have enough speed to outspeed Pokemon after a Totemize. But Mew kind of takes that nicely for the attack. So he goes for Stealth Rocks. I believe I Totemize or a Clanging Scales here, one of the two. I Clanging Scales, that's right. Get a bunch of damage off on the Mew, and now I'm going to go for a Totemize because I figure, well, if he's going to hit me, he's going to do it now, and it'll knock me out. And if not, then I am going to be faster than his whole team, barring Choice Scarfs. So he does switch the Mew out into Licky. So I'm like, well, now I wasted my Z move for no reason. With essentially this Kommo-o, I'm just going in and blasting things because it's already taken so much damage that I don't really need to keep it around anymore. He's going to protect the Licky to see what I'm going for. I'm just going to go for that Focus Blast, whatever. At this point, Kommo-o's dead, so I'm just trying to rack damage up. But he's going to switch the Licky out. I was kind of expecting it, but I figured I'd go for Focus Blast anyway. Clefable's going to come in, and it's going to take this Focus Blast. Does 29%, which isn't terrible. So now I can start going for Flash Cannons. I do outspeed the Clefable. He does have the Berry, which reduces damage from the Flash Cannon, but still does 23.7%. He's going to Wish. Now I figure, you got to switch out here because I'm going to go for another Flash Cannon. He'll kill you. He doesn't. So the Clanging Scale is immune to Clefable, and this is probably our biggest misplay of the battle. Had I gone for another Flash Cannon, there was a high chance that we knocked out the Clefable there, looking at the damage from the Berry reduced damage. And then we would have had one big threat out of the way. But unfortunately not. So Now I have to bring in the Excadrill. I'm just going to go for Iron Head. I could go for Rapid Spin, but seeing as how he's been playing with this Clefable, he might have Flamethrower on it and just go for it, expecting me to Rapid Spin. So I knock out the Clefable. It's unfortunate. We could probably still have Kommo-o around had I gone for Flash Cannon. So he's going to bring the Diggersby. I'm like, alright, this thing has Superpower, or it's Choice Scarfed, or something. So I'm going to switch out and go into Braviary, expecting the Earthquake because it does hit most of my Mons here, and he does go for the Earthquake, so I'm like, beautiful, now I'm looking great. So here I go for Superpower because it should knock out the Diggersby, I believe, from the calcs I looked at, but Licky Licky comes in, which is just fine. Licky Licky can take the Superpower too, bop, bop, bop. He brings it down 54%, and with the attack drop and the leftovers recovery, we're not going to be able to knock him out after this, so I do switch out into Tyranitar. So I figure, well, let's get up the sand at this point and start setting up Stealth Rocks, all that cool stuff. So this Licky Licky also has Wish, so I'm like, great, everything just has Wish, and it's dumb and big and stupid. So we see sand leftovers, you know, the usual. So I'm going to set up my own Stealth Rocks here. I don't care if Gardira really goes down here, as long as we got sand and Stealth Rocks. He's going to Brick Break. We do have the Chople Berry, so that reduces damage there, down to 18.4%. And then he gets his Wish, so I'm like, well, barnacles. So I believe I switch into Subi here, the Primarina, and I do switch, and it is into Subi. So here I can set up Reflect. I kind of realized after the thought that this might not be the best thing to do. He's going to Wish, seeing what I'm going to do to him. So he doesn't really have a Mon to switch it in on except for the Mew right now. So I'm just going to set up Reflect, kind of expecting the Superior to come in, but at least we have a Reflect up for later. So Superior does come in. But again, I kind of realized after the fact that Reflect wasn't really worth it because he does have Brick Break on the Diggers, or the Licky Licky. So we do see the Superior get the Wish, so really it just healed off his Stealth Rock damage. I'm going to switch out Subi because we're not going to take a Leaf Storm. I'm going to go right into Braviary because we will live this Leaf Storm, and then we can go for Brave Bird. And it does knock out the Galvantula. It knocks out this thing, and it'll knock out Mew, and it'll do a ton of damage to Diggersby and Licky Licky. So I just go for that Brave Bird. I could have gotten Eat for U-turn, but we wouldn't have survived another Stealth Rock entry, so I figured just get a bunch of damage off. He does bring the Licky Licky back in. I was going to take that Brave Bird, 40% damage. And it brings me down to 5. So now, I believe I just Brave Bird again, just get a bunch of damage, but I assume he just goes for Wish. I just had this battle like 2 seconds ago, and I still can't remember what's going on. 9% on the Licky Licky. He's going to go for a Wish, I'm assuming. That he does. And then, here, I believe I bring in my Excadrill, yes. And I was assuming that Protect would stop Rapid Spin from getting rid of the rocks, which is kind of dumb. I think it should still get rid of it, but that's not the case. So Licky Licky does Protect, no Rapid Spin for me. He's going to get his Wish. And then now I'm like, well, I'm not taking a Brick Break very well, so I'm going to switch into Volcarona. I know we're taking Stealth Rock damage, but we do have a chance to burn the Licky Licky, and plus we get Citrus Berry damage, and we resist the Brick Break. So we should be looking fairly nice. 13% damage, do get the Flame Body burn, so that's perfect. Now Excadrill's going to be able to do some damage against the Licky Licky without taking a ton back. So here I'm going to go for Quiver Dance. Just trying to see if I can set up in this Licky Licky's face. Unfortunately, the Licky Licky has Dragon Tail. Perfect. He just has everything. So Volcarona's going to switch out. In comes the Excadrill, which I couldn't ask for a better switch in. So now I can go for Rapid Spin, get rid of those rocks, and then we're going to be looking pretty nice. So we get the Rapid Spin off. Critical hit. Does 11% damage. We do almost as much back to ourselves with Life Orb. And he's going to Brick Break. You can see he's doing 18%, so we're looking mighty fine. And we got rid of those rocks. So now Volcarona can come in and look pretty nice still. And then I can go for Earthquake. Depending on his defenses, it would have knocked him out, but it looks like we knew he's a little bit bulkier from all the other damage he's been doing. But we do not knock out with that Earthquake, and then because of leftovers and the reduced damage that Burn has gotten, he lives with 10% still. So I'm going to switch. I can't remember why exactly I switched. Maybe expecting the Wish? Yeah. I was going to go for Earthquake, but like Superior could have came in or something. I don't know why I switched, honestly. But I go for the Fiery Dance, expecting a Dragon Tail, and it looks like he did that because he would have protected to get the Wish had he thought I was not going to Quiver Dance. But he just went for Dragon Tail there. In comes the Diggersby. I'm like, all right, this thing has to be faster than me or something, because now he's bringing it back in when he didn't want it in before. So I'm going to bring in the Primarina, just essentially sacking it off. It's not going to be able to live, and it is getting Earthquake, so I'm like, well, it could be Choice Banded still. I'm still not entirely sure on its damage output. And then comes the Tyranitar, and I just brought this in to set up the sand, essentially. I wasn't expecting to live anything, especially if he's Choice Banded. So Tyranitar's going to go down. Now I can bring an Excadrill, and Earthquake has a high chance to knock out the Diggersby here, and that's what I'm going to go for. Originally I went for Iron Head, but then I changed to Earthquake. It didn't matter though, because he does switch out into Mew to sack it off. So Excadrill does get that KO. I think no, that's Excadrill's second KO only. He got Clefable, he got Mew, and then Volcarona got Licky. Yes. So now Diggersby comes back in. I'm like, all right, he's got quick attack. And this is so I switch in the Volcarona trying to get the burn, and we would have to live for that to matter. We don't live though, so it didn't matter. So he is Choice Banned for sure. At the end of the battle, we finally figure out he's Choice Banded for sure. But then Excadrill can come in and we'll just feint to another quick attack. So unfortunately, we do lose this match. It was really close. I think the biggest play was him not switching out the Clefable on my potential Flash Cannon, because there was a chance that we were able to knock him out, and that would be one less Mon for us to worry about, and we'd still have Kommo-o sitting up front and just bopping things. I mean, he could have brought Diggersby back in and quick attacked us again, so it wouldn't have necessarily mattered. But I think it might have gone a little bit differently, but not a ton differently, because obviously he has the quick attack Diggersby. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for joining me today. Next week, I don't know who we battle, so don't ask me. I should look this up ahead of time, but I just get so ready into recording. But again, we should be back on 3DS next week, and hopefully bringing home that win for the Minnesota Wild Charge. So thank you guys so much for joining me today, and we'll see you next time. Stay sharp, everyone, and go Wild Charge.